Okay, I hope this is going to work right first time, or a 20th time. Here's what I've come up with for the lights under the third level. I wanted to really use these. This is really cool, but it just doesn't give enough light. And the jig I made, I spent quite a lot of time, and I will use these in the future quite often. That is really neat for wall lighting especially. But this is going to work right here very well. And I've taken the wires out of this because if I show you with the wires in, you can see, I guess you can see now they're over there. Everything just comes apart and it just flings out everywhere and it's distracting. So here's what I've come up with. And to run the wiring, I've run dados through here. We'll take the wires to the back, and I've carved this out. All the wires will come from both ends and channel down here where I will drill a hole in the piece of conduit, and then they will be run up to the top where I will mount the ballast. But this is what I have, and what I've done over here, going over to the router table, is transfer the lines, because what I need to do is I got to put a closed dado from here to here, 1/4 inch deep, and then from here to here, of course, it goes all the way through. So I'm going to do the complete through one first. So let me come over to the table. I'm bringing this over for a reason, which will shortly be seen. But I've transferred my marks, and as you can see, I've only brought them across the top, this is actually the bottom of the shelf, and it's just the first two which are going to go all the way through. Now what you have is you have totally through dados and you have closed dados, and on a through dado you just have the blade up and you just run the piece completely through. So it's like a channel that runs all the way through. Well, with this one, I'm going to start with this line on this mark, and I'm going to slot down to this line. Now, once I get this done, I'll be able to probably just leave those because they're not going to be there much anyway, and I will extend these lines to take the second one over. That way I don't get them mixed up, hopefully. Because once you get so much machining done to a piece, the last thing in the world you want to do is mess it up. I will go into how to fix things. I'm getting pretty good at fixing things. And I will show you my best friend, who is Bondo, who I rely on a lot to fix my mistakes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn this machine on. Let me get my hearing protection, and then I'm going to shut up because you're not going to hear anything my talking. I've tried that. What ends up happening is the machine is very loud and it just drowns you out. So hearing protection is a must unless you want to be more deaf than I already am. So now I have these on, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line my mark up. I have my blade below the table, and that is an essential. You need to kind of rub over to make sure, because if that thing is just up a little bit when you turn this on, and it is going to make an absolute holy mess out of the bottom side. So I make sure it's down. I actually come shy of my mark to start, and then I'll bring it back, and then I'll just run back and forth and keep raising it up until it protrudes through the top, and then I will be done. So let's give this a try and hope we don't lose any fingers. Now, here it's very loud. And as you saw at the end, I lifted it carefully off. The reason I do that is you'll see over here, if you stop the blade, you can leave divots. Now, in this cut, it probably is not as much of a big deal if this is all you're going to do. But as you can see, I put a rabbit edge around here. And what will happen is if you leave these things and they get too deep, when you go to put your rabbit edge on, the bearing that this rides on will transfer the divot from there up to here, and then it doesn't look so nice. So that's why I try to carefully, once I protrude through, is to lift it off and try to avoid those at all costs. So I hope this video worked out, because I've made the glass cut and I can't do another one. So let me see how this worked.